oust the speaker and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my god. Okay.
So like,
All right, good morning, everybody. It's 11:01. It is October 3rd. We're here for our first regular meeting of the month as the Board of Commissioners. And let's see, I can share my screen with the agenda. If y'all would please silence your cell phones and join us in a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. All right, do I have any needs for changes of the agenda today? Quite a bit.
Commissioner, could you remove agenda item number 6? I'm still working on the scope of work with the contractor.
I have it,
Thought we, unless something is changed, I thought we finalized that.
No, yeah, I would like it removed from the agenda.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right, any other changes or alterations today?
Can we just make, so number 5, the Kumar and Associates, just.
That we need.
That one I think is still fine,
Right.
yeah, as far as I'm,
What, no?
because that's.
Number 6 is with
Number
the
six, sorry,
Salazar, Vanessa.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Salazar
No,
consent.
my bad.
Okay. So we'll have 6 agenda items total then, removing item number 6. If there's no other alterations or changes, I'll entertain a motion to approve today's agenda.
I'll make a motion that we approve today's agenda.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
None for me.
None for me, thank you.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, and moving on to community informational items. Commissioner Fiedler,
None for me.
okay? Commissioner Marcella?
Yeah, we will make a presentation tonight at City Council to ask the city for a 50% contribution towards the grant match of our MMOF Transit Funding Award. So I will report back at our next meeting if we were successful in that ask, or what the county should anticipate for subsequent budgeting for the implementation of our local transit route. Bright Start is having a fundraiser on October 19th. we're having trivia, so if you'd like to participate, we would encourage you to come out.
Excellent, fun. I just have some updates, more updates on fuel mitigation. We're gonna aim to have some right-of-way work done on a private property owner's parcel on County Road 4 by the end of the season. Hoping that that will happen. If not, we'll push all those co-swap dollar funded projects into next year. We're doing that in partnership with the Colorado State Forest Service. And let's see, County Road 2 work, I believe, should be completed. I actually didn't verify that. I was told that it would be done by the end of last week. I don't know if Tim might have more information there, but that work should be done. DRMS was doing that sinkhole that was located up on County Road 2. And let's see, there was something else. Our County Road 11 culvert work is going to be postponed through to next season as well. We have some agenda items on this agenda to deal with further planning in that project, but the County Road 11 work is now pushed from this season, unfortunately. But we will address that next spring, I hope. Anything else before we move on from community information items?
No, none for me, thank you.
All right. Public comments on items not on the agenda. I see Justin Kurth has joined us from Representative Patterson's. I think you have two in the waiting room. I do? Okay. Oh, sorry, hold on just a second. Let me admit everybody in the waiting room. And Justin, go ahead.
Good morning, commissioners. Thank you for taking a second to hear an update. In short, it's about the averting the government shutdown. Congresswoman's glad that the Congress was able to avoid the reckless and unnecessary shutdown and also prevent the devastating cuts that would have gone to critical programs. There's a positive step we can all take in this, but also a temporary one. So there's a lot of work to get done before the funding expires in mid-November. Congresswoman Pedersen's also committed to working with members on both sides of the aisle to find that long-term solution and keeping government open and growing the economy, supporting Colorado workers and families. I wish I could come with an update on the community project funding, but as you can imagine, any process currently taking in the space of the Congress right now is pushing that further and further out. As soon as I have one, I'll make sure you have it as well. In the meanwhile, I'm always available at the office in Canyon City by phone or in person. And should you find yourself down this way, and then I'll make myself as available as I can up north as well. I'm happy to take any questions if you have them, but also happy to end it there for myself.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
Any questions for Justin?
Justin, I just have one question. Is there any movement on the farm bill?
Movement on the Farm Bill. That's a good question. I will find out the current status update and email you. Could I follow up with you on that and give you an update? All right. It's everything's kind of hurry up and wait until Congress sorts itself out.
Okay.
Is the short answer. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Justin. Really appreciate you joining us.
Yep.
All right. Any other public comment? We don't have any in the room. If there's none online, I'll move ahead with the agenda. Just wait a moment. I don't see anybody. Last call for public comment.
Yes, I have a public comment.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Christian Lunalea, 42 East 7th. Just wanted to make a public comment. Making sure that at some point today is discussed setting up a work session for the discussion about housing with the city of Leadville as well as the BOCC. Would be greatly appreciated and would be willing to make the same commitment for later tonight's meeting in our housekeeping item agendas for City Council. Thank you.
Look at our calendars and provide a few dates for our joint work session. All right, any other public comments before we move on to new business items? All right, I don't see any. Okay, moving on to new business then. First item of new business, we have the discussion and consideration of professional service agreement with Rains Institute for a Trauma-Informed Contractor for the MEAC, Member Experience Advisory Council Grant and Trauma-Informed Work Culture and Longitudinal Measurement of Customer Service and Retention Grant. This is led by Janine McGee. She's online. Hi, Janine.
Hello.
Please go ahead and give us a background on this and what you're needing from us.
Yeah, so we have several contracts to present today. This one is for a professional service agreement with Rains Institute we worked with last year. And this is a respondent to the request for proposals that we put out to do work with us in our Member Experience Advisory Council, focusing on the impact of trauma as it pertains to folks' experience both in interacting with government agencies or prior experience that could impact their ability to connect with folks in government agencies. So we are excited to present this contract and work with this contractor again.
Great. I don't have any questions for you, Janine. Anyone else have questions for Janine?
No, I don't have any questions on this, thank you.
Nope, none for me.
I'll entertain a motion.
I will make a motion that we approve the professional service agreement with Rains Institute for Trauma-Informed Contractor Work for the MEAC, Member Experience Advisory Council Grant and Trauma-Informed Work Culture and Longitudinal Measurement of Customer Service and Retention.
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion?
None for me, thank you.
None for me.
Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye.
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 Great, thanks Janine. And next, Janine, the discussion and consideration of a professional service agreement. Oh. Yeah, Tim?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, Janine, can you talk to the commissioners during these agenda items, like a little bit about the MEAC and how it works?
Yes, happy to do that. I can do that. I think the next one is, there's another one about that. Do you want me to?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, great.
So the next one is a professional service agreement with Sarion Consulting LLC to work as language access contractor for the MEAC or MEAC, the Member Experience Advisory Council. Go ahead, Janine.
Yes, so good question, Tim. The Member Experience Advisory Council is made up of Medicaid members who live in the Lake County community and have been asked to speak or serve on the committee. We'll reach out to folks who are Medicaid members and are members of the Spanish-speaking community, and we will get their feedback on their member experience. This is particularly focused on language access, but also customer experience in the Spanish-speaking community, what we can do to help folks feel like they can connect with the Department of Human Services, gauge a level of their understanding of services and service accessibility, and figure out what we can do to resolve or heal any misconceptions or challenges, which is the other reason that we're also incorporating the trauma-informed approach with this. So Julie Lawson from the Rains Institute will work on the trauma-informed component of that, and Maria Carrion Ayers will work on the language access component of that. And then we have another contractor that's also applied to facilitate the Member Experience Advisory Council. There is, I think, some goals within a community to expand the Member Experience Advisory Council beyond just Medicaid members after this initial project, but this project was funded by the Department of Healthcare Policy and Financing to specifically work with Medicaid members. Other questions on that, or was that helpful, Tim?
No, that was great. Thank you, Janine. And Yep. Colorado, when I was at HICPUF, Colorado is the first state to create MEACs at the local and state level, and it's been quite innovative for Medicaid within the state to change or meet our members' needs and wants better within the parameters that we work in. So it's exciting that we're bringing it back, and I believe Lake County was one of the first counties to have this. So bringing it back is really exciting. So I appreciate the work, Janine.
Yes.
Janine, sorry if I missed it. Is there like a final written report with recommendations, or is it kind of like an internal report you'll get? Like, I'm just wondering, like, what the sort of.
Yeah, the goal is to create actually a customer service survey. So the group will be working on creating a survey instrument that will then be utilized to reach out to a broader community. And certainly we'll be sharing those results and recommendations that come from that. And then we'll be looking at how we can implement any changes or protocols or what we can do specifically related to the customer service experience, to the member experience as a result of this project.
I just want, I think both, there's lots of parts of your department, but other parts of the county and even some of our nonprofit partners who I would imagine could maybe learn something or have some input on some of that outreach work. It'd be good to share some of the lessons learned more generally.
Yeah, we'll definitely be doing that. And then because the goal is not only to get the feedback, incorporate that feedback, but then also let the community members know how that has been incorporated so that there is an increased feeling of trust between the community and the department so that we can hopefully bridge those areas that seem to be coming up as barriers for folks. So we definitely want to get the word back out on what we're doing to address those, and then continue to monitor and evaluate the effectiveness of all that.
Yeah, great. Okay, thanks.
Janine, my only question is when you talked about soliciting feedback, is that feedback from individuals that are handpicked, or is it open to anybody that participates in the Medicaid program? How is the selection process done for individuals to give feedback on their experience?
Yeah, so what we did before when we created the MEAC, and this was during the years of COVID, so we were not able to completely finish the project. But we had folks who were engaged and involved who have been asking since then when we're going to start it up again, and we are very interested and invested in the process. But we also are very careful to seek out folks that we know have been giving us feedback over the course of years. So if they have had concerns or thoughts or suggestions, we definitely include them in the process when we go to look at who would be good members for this. And then we'll work with the facilitators to determine what's the right number of folks. Again, and then we also put the word out to our Medicaid members if they'd like to participate. But certainly we start with that list internally, because that's not a list that we can share with anyone else. So we communicate with folks the opportunity. We'll connect with the people who've been on it before, and then we'll continue to look at who do we know that we've received feedback from who would enjoy participating. The other part of the MEAC that we did before that worked really well is that we'll set up the meetings, but we'll have folks, our staff members can go out and pick people up to bring them to the meeting. The goal is to do it in person as much as possible. So we provide meals, we provide the childcare, we provide the transportation, and we'll be working with a really highly skilled facilitator who comes from a bilingual, bicultural organization that will facilitate those meetings. Are you guys there? Any other questions?
Sorry about that. We lost our Zoom
Yeah.
for a moment there,
Oh.
but
Okay.
you all animated now, so we're back. All right.
Janina, the only other question that I have is, would members that have been denied a Medicare benefit be eligible to provide feedback as well? Like, would you review applications that have been denied and then they can provide feedback on their experience? And I'm wondering if they can provide some feedback on things like around the reason for their denial or that kind of thing, if that's part of the customer service feedback that you've received?
Yeah, really good question. Our MEAC before was comprised of folks who were not just current Medicaid members. They were also past Medicaid members. And it was very helpful because some of the feedback we got from them included explanations of why they did not either continue the program or confusions that they had, but also what the redetermination process was like for them. So it could be anybody who had been on Medicaid or currently is on Medicaid. And the feedback from folks who did not continue on Medicaid or maybe even didn't qualify any longer for Medicaid, and that was also the case before, it was helpful. So it's really a broad experience of folks who had both been on, currently are on, or had been on and no longer qualified, or been on but didn't complete the redetermination. And the benefit of being on a member experience advisory council is we are also able to help address any of the questions or concerns or even case issues that come up with those folks. That's sort of the agreement that they get. Something in return is that we can sort of facilitate some of those questions as quickly and as possibly possible in the actual facilitation sessions. So we have staff there who can help with some of that. And we find that that was really helpful because it often clarified confusions and just questions that people had about the process. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Does that answer your question? So it's
Yeah.
not, but it's not, doesn't sound like it's necessarily people who were denied and.
Yeah, I guess really just wanting to I don't know, like advocate for or encourage DHS to work through some of those denials and learn from that customer experience too. Just to see if there was issues with processing or issues with documentation that was submitted that may not have been accurate, and that maybe you were eligible for the benefit or whatever that looks like. I would just really encourage us to kind of have that holistic view of that customer experience, and solicit that feedback as best we can.
Yeah, very much so. And the number one reason for denial when it comes to Medicaid, Medicaid doesn't require quite as much verification, although it depends on the type of cases. So that's the other thing we want to look at, is make sure we have a variety of types of Medicaid plans that we're looking at. There are 40 different forms of Medicaid coverage. So we want to talk with folks who maybe had been on long-term care or could be eligible for long-term care, or maybe they weren't eligible for long-term care because of some income criteria. Just a reminder is that we only verify folks' qualifications based on income. So it could be based on that. It could be based on the other thing that comes up for folks around denial is typically when there is a need for further information that we don't receive that information. They either weren't clear on how to maybe what the communication was, that it seemed like they were denied, but didn't understand that all we needed was just some more verification of income or household composition from them. So we will definitely work with folks. The other thing is we've got navigators that we didn't have before. So we've got folks helping with applications, and that will also be a good way to get referrals from people who maybe they got denied, but they got the assistance at the application and the process, and they would like to give us some feedback on how all of that went. So yeah, we do need to keep in mind the funding criteria, which is that it is that member experience, but certainly, especially the folks who were on and either didn't qualify or didn't renew their paperwork, didn't complete that paperwork, are going to be really of interest. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions for Janine on the PSA with Clarion Consulting?
No, I don't have anything for you.
Nope, I'm good.
Alright.
Alright, I'll make a motion that we approve the PSA with Carrion Consulting LLC to work as language access contractor for the MEAC Member Experience Advisory Council grant.
Second?
Any further discussion?
None for me, thank you.
None for me?
Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye.
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 Alright, and Janine, your third item, consideration of a professional service agreement with Neocom Promo to assess the Medicaid member feedback within the Lake County community. And this is all just a
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah,
Go
this is a new vendor that responded to the RFP. So we're excited to have them involved. They have experience doing this type of work and will be bringing a different level of expertise to the table. So this is our recommendation on this RFP for the actual facilitation of it.
Okay. I don't have any questions on that.
No questions?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the PSA with Neocom Promo to assess Medicaid member feedback within Lake County.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
None for me, thank you.
None for me?
Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye.
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 Alright, thank you, Janine.
Thanks, Janine.
Thank you.
Alright, and items 4 and 5 are related with the same kind of background. I'm happy to do that. So item 4 is discussion and consideration with a professional service agreement with Tolt Surveys Incorporated for surveying services on County Road 4 and the Arkansas River and County Road 5A and Fork Creek. And the next one is for geotechnical engineering at the same locations. So this work comes from the natural resource damages work and the grant funding that we got from the state to do these culvert replacements. The infrastructure work is really important and for the state for connectivity of the fishery and the aquatic health of the river. Continuing that work that's gone on in the last couple of decades here in the county. The surveying work, these six culverts have been identified in the project. These 2 culverts will be, I'm not sure that both of them will be done next year with County Road 11 needing to be moved to next year, but I believe that County Road 11 and 5A are the top 2 that we may be able to get done next year. But we're just trying to plug along with continuing this work. So with the grant funding that we've got, it lasts over 5 years. It is 50-50 and a total of 2.9 million grant funds. We are continuing to work with our partner, Arkansas River Watershed Collaborative, and they're helping us obtain other funding opportunities to continue to address and meet our match. So it doesn't have to come out of the general fund. They were successful in that, in getting a Colorado Water Conservation Board grant for $131,000 for all the engineering on these locations as well as those that will follow.
Okay.
Any questions for me?
No, none for me.
Maybe this is like a little tangent. Can you remind us what happened with the one that was hoping to get done this year, the County Road 11? That there's an issue with like neighboring landowners.
There's
Yeah.
a discrepancy and a disagreement on the surveyed right of way.
Okay.
And so we're working with one property owner for quite some time as the ideal kind of
Right.
alternate temporary route. And then move from that landowner to working with the other landowner on the other side of the bridge. And the other side, well, not the other side of the river, because the river runs through their properties. And so neither landowner are amicable to agree to an alternate temporary route, and so we'll have to follow other means to get that.
We're hoping to still meet with them. We're right now planning a meeting to have everybody kind of sit at the table and explain why this is needed and what the options will be if one or both of them don't agree to the access, which won't be positive for whoever doesn't agree.
Yeah.
So we're hopeful we'll have a better outcome after we actually get everybody seated at the table.
Okay. Sounds good, or doesn't sound good, but.
Yeah.
I hope that conversation comes to fruition quickly. I think the important piece to remember there is that if the culvert fails, like the road fails,
Yeah,
and there's people that live out there that will not be able to access town in the wintertime because there isn't a maintained county egress.
Right.
right,
Or Forest Service Road, right? Like, I think there's a Forest Service Road back
There
on
is.
like the pipeline,
But
but
it
it's not
takes,
maintained in the wintertime.
yeah,
So there is no wintertime egress if the road were to fail because the culvert fails
Right, and that road is actually deteriorating
quickly.
and I guess I'll say naturally as
Yeah.
of last fall.
Yeah.
Which is why it was first on the list. So yeah, there's residents out there, the property owners who are involved currently would be affected dramatically. And ACA as a business is out there, and then all the recreation that will start up again next summer season could potentially be up Half Moon Road.
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of truck traffic, which is really disconcerting.
So you won't be
that
able to reach the
fails.
pit.
yeah,
But in the meantime, the
Yeah.
truck traffic over the culvert and the road where it is naturally deteriorating also presents like an additional pressure.
yeah, yeah,
The concern though now is we saw weather coming in this morning, whether it's actually too late even this year to do anything with it. So I know Michael and his crew have been trying to get that shored up to kind of patch it and hopes that
even to
it'll
patch
last
it,
through
yeah.
the season as well.
Okay. Thanks, Chris.
All right, so item 4 then, we'll go one at a time.
Sure.
Go ahead.
I will make a motion that we approve the PSA with Tolt Surveys Incorporated for surveying services on County Road 4 and the Arkansas River and County Road 5A and Fork Creek.
I'll second,
Any further discussion?
None for me, thank you.
none for me,
Okay, hearing none, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And item 5, similarly related for the geotechnical work.
Sure. I'll make a motion that we approve the PSA with Kumar and Associates for geotechnical engineering study for a new culvert and bridge at County Road 4 and the Arkansas River and County Road 5A and Lake Fork Creek.
I'll second,
Okay, any further discussion on this?
None for me, thank you.
none for me,
Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
aye,
Excellent. And we removed item number 6, that is not ready for consideration. And so last on our new business items, we have the discussion and consideration of a lease for 130 East 14th Street for Lake County Government Workforce Housing.
And so this is a property that's owned by Adam and Renee Giffen. It's a small house that they have offered to the county for lease for workforce housing. We just literally before the meeting today, I was able to we were only waiting for information for reference Schedule 1. It is a furnished house. And so we were putting together a schedule of what the furnishing and appliances and stuff there, so we know going into it what exists. And I've also created a move-in and move-out checklist, so somebody can walk through it when we take possession to be able to confirm the stuff is there and what its condition is and that type of thing. I drafted the lease for the Giffens, and they have approved it without any changes, so I think we're in pretty good shape there. They did want it to start October 1st because they had someone else who was interested in the property. I did explain to them today was that because we could get it before the commissioners. I don't know if a draft has been uploaded into the packet for today. I don't think so, but I can certainly circulate it for review if you like it. I believe Tim's had the chance to review it, and I didn't see any comments back from him requesting any changes. So it is for $1,300 per month with an initial term of 1 year, and then with the option to renew for subsequent 1 year periods if the county desires to do that. We're not committed to do that.
Is that like a first right of refusal, Chris?
Just for leasing right now. There
Okay.
wasn't any discussion about a first right of refusal for purchase.
Okay.
So that hasn't been addressed with them, but if that's something you would like us to address, we certainly can do that. If you like. But at this point in time, I would just ask, because we weren't able to get the draft finalized for y'all's review until right before the meeting, is that if we could have it approved pending final legal review, because they do want a commitment as of this week, so that we don't let someone else.
Yeah.
I'm happy to answer any questions about the terms or that type of thing. And again, this is, so the way it would work is this would be a master lease with the county. So the county would be technically the tenant, but it allows for the county to sublease it to employees. I have a separate agreement that we will enter into with employees who might be interested in this property that provides the terms and conditions that will incorporate this lease agreement into that, and also be, contingent on their, employment remaining, so you don't end up in a situation where you have a subtenant who then no longer works for the county and can't make it available for someone else. So.
Tim, do you have comments?
No, just saying, yes, I did review the lease. It's very familiar to me, Chris. So I don't have any problems or questions with that. And it is, it will be a benefit to the county and for our workforce to be able to have this to attract some leadership talent.
So the one thing I forgot to mention too, the $1,300 in rent includes natural gas, water, sewer, and electric utilities to the premises, so we don't have to set up our own. The only thing that would be outside of it would be internet access, and we also have to provide for trash and snow removal. So typically that would be the tenant's responsibility anyway, and so my expectation is we would ask whoever moved into the house to take care of those responsibilities as well, unless y'all wanted to set up the internet or arrange for trash and snow removal at the property.
Okay.
We can, obviously it's gonna be the county's responsibility overall, but we would just pass that through to the tenant usually.
Did, sorry, were you at the property or was somebody at the property to
Tim
look
has
at
seen, I was
the?
gonna say, Tim has looked, Tim
Okay,
has.
at
has
that
been-
list of
Oh, the furnishings
the
that's there?
furnishings,
No.
and I was just curious cause we had talked about visiting the property
Yes.
and seeing that.
Yeah.
So Tim has.
He has not seen the list, cause literally I got it about 5 minutes before this meeting started, so I'm just now creating the schedule to go with it. And so my plan would be to circulate it out to y'all with the schedule and to Tim to confirm that yes, when he was there, and Jackie, I think, Rice Board as well, and I think Heath walked through it to confirm that yes, these were the furnishings that were there. It's pretty minimal, it's a very small property,
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
I doubt they could either hide or shoehorn much more into it.
okay. I just didn't know if we wanted to do a final
And that's
walk through
completely.
with the list
yeah.
of items, or if it really is very minimal, and we've also kind of observed the current condition of the property to list as well.
Yeah, and that's, I personally have not seen it, I
Okay.
apologize, but I know
No, that's
Jackie
okay.
and Tim have.
Tim, you're comfortable with maybe we'll do a final legal review and final affirmation of or agreement on the,
And confirmation of the
Confirmation of-
furnishings and
yeah.
its condition. That's right.
okay. Does that seem all right with
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Okay.
All right,
And I can work with Jackie if you'd like to see when we can arrange to, or the Giffens directly, if you'd like to arrange for y'all to get in there if you want to see it.
I don't think I need to see it personally if there's been eyes on it. I feel feel good with that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just wanted to make sure that we had, reason to confirm the list. Alright,
I'll make a motion that we approve the lease for 130 East 14th Street for Lake County Government Workforce Housing contingent on final legal review and affirmation of the list of contents
I'll second.
and condition.
and conditions.
Okay.
And condition of contents.
Okay. Alright, any further discussion?
None for me, thank you very
Not
much.
for me?
Alright, hearing none, all those in favor? Aye.
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 Alright, and all we have left is, I'll entertain a motion to approve our consent agenda.
So moved?
Second?
Any further discussion?
None for me, thank you.
Not for me?
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Excellent. Alright, and that concludes our agenda, and we will adjourn at 11:40.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us, Tim.
Have a good day.
You too.